Hey sailors, welcome to the crew. I'm Sailor Agenda, and this is my Let's Play of Rule the Waves 3 as Great Britain. In the last episode, we saw tensions mounting with Russia, and as we ended, war had just begun with our current greatest naval rival. August 1896, war has broken out between Great Britain and Russia. Daily net sales 6 times as large as that of any pet. Oh, I see. This is advertising the newspaper. I was like, what news was so important as to get onto the byline above Britain declares war? Alright, so we're at war with Russia. They are actually our closest naval rival at this time. They have 26 battleships in commission to my 27, 10 armored cruisers to my 10, the 15 protected cruisers to my 39, not quite as close there. And they're building destroyers like mad. Everybody is, actually. I guess I have to build more. They just seem very useless at the moment, but they're screens at least. Oh, true, they could be used for trade protection at least. Well, that is what I'm going to use them for, all the ones that I have in service. Straight to trade protection. But I will lay down another... we'd better do a new design, actually, because we did get water tube boilers, which maybe means we can actually build one that has some capabilities now. Not really. Is this valid? Nope. Oh, yes, it is. It's just terrible, but it's valid. Overweight. Terrible rate of fire. It's still much better than the previous one. I'm going to build these. Okay, so under construction, we do have 2 battleships of the London class, which are a lot better armored, but otherwise basically just more illustriouses. The fleet currently consists of 4 repulses that I wasn't able to decommission in time. Tragically, although I guess 2 of them should have been on the chopping block already. 1, 4, 8, 10, 12 Collingwoods altogether, I think, if I'm counting right. 12 Collingwoods, which are legacy ships, but not too terrible. I mean, their secondary armament is questionable, but at least they're well armored. Reasonable speed and main armament. 3 Hannibals, which I believe are also were already under construction at game start. These are not too well armored, but they're pretty nice overall, actually. And then my own designs, 8 of the illustrious class are in commission now, which are... Actually, their armor ended up being on the thin side, because I was thinking more in Krupp terms than like pre-Harvey terms, but they're not bad at all either. Russia has 26 battleships, of which some of them only have 2 12-inch guns. These have 6, but in such a way that there's no way they can ever bring more than 4 to bear at any one time, so... It's basically a waste. What is the advantage? I mean, okay, the advantage to this design is technically that if you lose one turret, you can turn around and bring the other set of turrets to bear. But if you're fighting in a line formation, I guess there's a certain critical mass of turrets lost where you turn the whole line around. But generally, if you're in a line formation, you're not going to actually be able to do that. So, I don't see... I mean, you're just wasting a bunch of displacement, really, on that turret most of the time. They have a bunch of very standard 4x12 designs. They definitely have inferior secondaries to us. I mean, there's not a whole lot of variety in pre-dreadnoughts, exactly. They have a bunch of armored cruisers. They're not mostly that great. I've seen Russia build much scarier armored cruisers than these. They're not very fast, either. I guess that's why we have more tonnage than them by a fair margin. So it's a very winnable war. just, hmm. Honestly, it's just hard to say how we're even going to exactly encounter each other. I'm gonna spend a bunch of money on destroyers next turn, so I'll not spend it this turn. Convoy defense. This could get messy. 20 aircraft? Sir? I think you're very mistaken. What is an aircraft, and how did the Russians get them in 1896? Well, you heard it here first, guys. The Russians have an aircraft carrier. They don't have any territory anywhere near here, so they have an aircraft carrier somehow in 1896. Maybe it's interpreting Zeppelins that way, possibly. But they still don't have any Zeppelins over here either. It's off Ceylon. So we have... Oh, did I have... If I could have added a ship or something, then the aircraft thing was actually a masterful strategic feat of distracting me. Hopefully not. So we have the armored cruiser Europa of the old Diadem class, and the light cruiser Latona, which is pretty much equivalent. 2 less 3-inch guns and slightly less armor, but they're honestly almost equal. And that's already at least 3 Russian cruisers, so... These are not fantastic cruisers that I've got here, so hopefully this doesn't go too poorly. Okay. 1 Oleg class armored cruiser. Not a terribly big armored cruiser either, so at least we're not hugely overmatched there. And 2 Palada class light cruisers, 10 6-inch guns. Well, ship for ship, we're not badly overmatched, but there's 2 of them, or I mean, there's 3 of them and 2 of us, so I don't know that it's, oops, let's not get Latona isolated. We're gonna keep our distance a little bit and, see if we can isolate one or something. We are close to our own base, is it? Well, yeah, I guess Colombo's our closest base. There's not really any base on the tip of India, but Ceylon will do. I guess this is going to be a cruiser war mainly, huh? We're just going to have to scatter our cruisers all over the world to hunt down all the Russian cruisers. I did activate gunnery training, but it's not ready yet. We've had a few accuracy improvements since the last war, but not a whole lot. As you can probably tell, the range is 4,500 yards, by the way. We just still can't hit anything. Oh, wait. Okay, I don't know what the Pilatas are doing, but the Oleg is kind of isolated now. Maybe we can get some, well... We could get some good hits if we had any accuracy. Alright, well, there's an 8-inch hit. Yeah, the only bit of good news is they're using their light cruisers more like screens or something, or protected cruisers, which is really not what they are in this engagement, but they're not being, they're being a little bit uh, shaky, so to speak. How long's it? How long's it been since we got a hit? The range is, I guess, up to 7,000 yards. That's far too much. Let's try to turn across their T a little bit. Bring the range down some. Not really gonna get a good concentration of fire here, though, but Europa and Latona are a little too far apart. Okay, well, Europa actually got some hits in. Mostly 3-inch, though. Oh. Well, welcome to playing Britain, everyone. That's nice. I think Latona will go home now. I'd like everyone to... I'd just like to say I didn't design that ship, so... It's not going to be nighttime anytime soon, so we're just going to have to run to port. That's an embarrassing way to start the war. At least they're not killing the convoy. How far is it? Oh, it's like 200 nautical miles almost, so it's going to be a long chase. Hmm. We were pretty much winning right up till that moment, too. Bit of a shame. Oh, Britain. Well, we lost Europa thanks to one 6-inch hit at 1,700 yards, which caused her to instantly explode. I guess that's the risk of getting that close, and apparently it's still a win because they didn't sink the convoy. To be fair, that is a known risk of getting... Ah, but Rossi has been interned at an alleged neutral port in the Indian Ocean. Yes, I agree. We should formalize our alliance with Japan. This can't possibly backfire in 40 years' time. I'm gonna get about 10 more destroyers laid down. So, well, at least that Russian cruiser got interned. Let's see. Now that we're allied with Japan, we could send ships to Northeast Asia. We're gonna need to send ships to, like, Southeast Asia and the Indian Ocean, because the Russians have a bunch of ships just transiting through here. They have 4 battleships in the Mediterranean? Alright. Okay. Oh, they have, like, nothing in the Baltic. Oh, they have 8 battleships in Northern Europe. Okay, well, I'm still gonna move ships, but, let's see here. Send a good squadron, like... newer ships. Let's send these guys down to the Mediterranean, because there's a bunch of Russians down there. And then I'll have to scatter more cruisers all over the place, but let's maybe deal with this force that's in Northern Europe first, or see where they're going at least. Annoying start. Now we're outnumbered in armored cruisers too. But... We're just gonna have to play it safe on armor because of Britain's hidden flaws trait, which causes flash fires to happen at a way higher rate. Ooh. You know, technically that shouldn't actually be the case, really, but set these 2 to foreign stations. Hopefully they're still working up, but they'll probably be fine. I'm sure they'll figure it out on the job. Oh, cruiser action, and we can ambush an enemy force, huh? Well, we'll see. I can rearrange, but we only have 1 squadron, so it's not exactly complicated. So we have Abuk here, Melampus, which is a new Terpsichore, and Sybil, which is a new Sybil. These are all fairly capable crew. I mean, the Abukirs are one of our best older classes, so I mean, it should be fine as long as we don't run into like 10 Russian cruisers. If it's 1, then this should just be crushing, of course. Yeah, so far I only see 1. Yeah, that is 1 Palada class protected cruiser. If we can catch her, this will be very one-sided. Whether we can catch her is another question entirely. We're in gun range. Where are we exactly? We're sort of just, I mean, there's Ireland to the north, there's kind of Britain to the southeast. We're pretty much out in the open, though, so... We're probably going to have to slow her by gunfire, or else this is just going to be an infinite chase into the Atlantic. Unless she's slower than us, but she shouldn't be. Although it wouldn't be surprising if the Russian ships somehow had faults and were not performing to their design specifications. Don't think that would surprise anyone necessarily. Oh wait. Okay, he just keeps edging to starboard. I don't know if they're going in a circle or what exactly, but it's annoying. And it did get them out of gun range. Okay, now they're going back to port. Oh, darkness too? Alright, well, they're gonna get away. There's no way we catch her in the dark. I mean, except by dumb luck. Nope, lost her. Well, our chances of catching her at this point are basically 0. Let me do a little weave. Sometimes they like to just turn around right after dark, but even then the chances of catching them are... We got no radar or anything, obviously. Yeah. So at this point we just sail around in the Irish Sea all night, but we're not gonna actually realistically find that cruiser again. Well, unfortunately. Yeah, didn't accomplish much there. Got one, two gun hits even. And then she slipped away. We'll survive that. Please get me a coincidence rangefinder. Anything for a bit of accuracy. Oh, we're blockade. I didn't even realize. I don't think I've ever, okay. So as long as we hold the North Sea, Russia is under blockade. I mean, that makes perfect and complete sense, but I didn't actually realize it worked that way. I didn't know they'd coded that into the game that way. Well, that helps us out a lot as far as actually winning the war goes. Also, where the hell did the Russian fleet go? Not in the Med. It's off of West Africa. I mean, not all of it. They've just got a whole string of... This isn't even exactly a Pacific fleet or like a Baltic fleet scenario. They're so strung out. There's 3 battleships and 13 cruisers in Southeast Asia. There's a battleship in the Indian Ocean, 2 and 3 cruisers in South Africa, 6 more and 4 more cruisers in West Africa. They've only got 9 battleships left at home with a few destroyers, so all of their cruisers are out. Okay. Well, this squadron that I sent to the Med, all the modern ships that are here, you would please carry straight on. Honestly, with like some of these, we don't really have a need for a strong force in the Mediterranean right now, if the Russians aren't going to have one there. So all of you, pretty sure they're all headed for Northeast Asia. So all of you head for Northeast Asia. Reinforce the Japanese. And I will also grab for you and the rest of the Drakes and our other new cruisers. And you will also head for Northeast Asia. That becomes the main theater of war, then it does. I'm pretty sure we can borrow Japanese bases now that we're officially allied. So that should be fine. We have too much money. We need to spend money. I suppose the immediately logical place would be on even more armored cruisers, huh? Although we have 6 building. I mean, that's pretty good. More destroyers. Then we can have an actual screening force a little bit. With enough of them, they might be... Oh, I didn't reorganize our divisions ever. Okay, well, we better do that. Let's see, 2nd, 3rd. Let's see, you guys stay 5th. You suck. 3rd. You guys can be 4th, which doesn't really exist currently, and then you, I guess, will be... Let's see, we're gonna have to create 2 more divisions. Too many ships. Which is a good problem to have, but that's where we're at right now. Right, yes, so you, 6th Battle Division. You, 7th Battle Division. You're also going to need more armored cruiser divisions. So that's this will help the fleet figure out what the heck it's supposed to do also, so hopefully that will help with our matchmaking. you can just get thrown into an existing division. Okay. Different existing division, I guess. Sure. And then we're going to need a... Some of these should be weak. This is just going to need to be extensively reorganized, I think. For now, I'll just create like a 7th and 8th. Protected cruiser divisions. And also a third colonial cruiser division. And I will assign these ships to them. No, third colonial cruiser division already existed. My bad. We have 7 Terpsichores right now. That's an annoyingly uneven number. Oh, I guess I emptied out one of the colonial cruiser divisions, huh? When I was deleting cruisers that I didn't want earlier. Okay, that's a little better. The 2 Londons will be done shortly. It'll be 15 months before most of the Berwicks are finished, unfortunately, because they would be nice to have. But at least we have the Drakes. Destroyers are under construction. Hopefully we can stabilize the situation pretty quickly. In any case, I think I'm going to call it there for today. So, hope you all enjoyed. We're really getting into the thick of it now. In any case, thank you all very much for watching. Hope you all have a nice evening. This is Sea Lord Janda, signing off.